Hello, so today we're going to talk about eBucks. As you know, we are now close to the end of June, and from July 2025 there's going to be new rules. So this video we'll be going through what is changing in the new rules and how you can still get to level 5 easily. It might slightly change your behavior a bit, but overall it's actually not that bad. So let's jump into it. eBucks is important and it's not hard to get, it's not a hard program to understand, and once you get to level 5 on your eBucks, you can spend it in many eBucks partners such as Pick and Pay, Take a Lot. Sometimes you can get some Pokemon products, although on Take a Lot some of the Pokemon products are a bit, sometimes not a bit overpriced, but very overpriced, but now and then you'll get some good deals, and if you can use your eBucks to buy them, then you know it's not bad. Okay, so before we start the video, just a quick disclaimer: none of this is financial advice. There could be unupdated information, incorrect information. Use it at your own risk. But anyways, let's continue. So for today's video, we'll be focusing on a premier account holder. If you are a private client or a private wealth client or an RMB private client account holder, I might make another one going forward. If you want one to be made, mention in the comment section. Otherwise, you can apply similar principles. Okay, let's get started. So for a premier account holder, first thing is the eBucks points that you need to get to level 5 has changed, and also changed a bit for the other levels. So we'll look at it on the slide over here. So we have old system at the top and new system at the bottom. Okay, so level 5 previously, well, not previously because we're still on the old system. So on the old system, which is current system, you need over 11,000 points to get to level 5. Okay, on the new system, you just need 10,000 points to get to level 5. So it's 1,000 points fewer than previously. It may seem like it's better, but I'll go through the details a bit more. So besides from the level 5 threshold changing, you can also see level 4 has also changed. It's on the new system, you only need 5,000 points fewer, and on level 2 you also need 500 points. Sorry, did I say 5,000? Okay, for level 4 it's 500 less, and then for level 2 it's also 500 less. Previously you needed 4,000 points. Old system you need 4,000, now you only need 3,500 points. Old system on level 4 you need 9,500 points, now on the new system you only need 9,000. But really you should really aim for level 5 because the percentage return on eBucks has a massive difference between level 4 and level 5. So always target level 5. Just focus on level 5 for this video. Currently you need 11,000 points to get to level 5. New system you only need 10,000. Okay, so on plain view it seems like, oh, it's easier to get to level 5, but we'll see. I'm going to go through a few things that have changed, and we'll again talk about old, which is the current one, and new, what's going to happen in July 2025. Okay, so the first one is the income deposit. Currently, in order to get 2,000 points, you need to have a minimum monthly deposit of 16,500 into your FNB Fusion Premier account or FNB Premier Current account. Okay, so it's either that or initiate at least 10 debit transactions per month on your account. Okay, so currently, if you're not going to make a deposit of 16,500 into your FNB account, reasons being it may not be your main account, so you may not deposit. How you could get the 2,000 points was to initiate at least 10 debit transactions. So that was a way to get the 2,000 points without depositing funds into your FNB account. Now the rules have changed slightly. Now the first the 16,500 deposit is broken up into 3 parts, and it's 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Okay, so 1.1 is have a minimum monthly deposit of at least 5,500 500 into your FNB Premier Current, FNB Premier Fusion accounts, Global accounts, FNB Channel Islands Current or FNB Channel Islands Core account if you are on the spousal, young, professional or retirees option. Okay, so 1.1 and then 1.2 have a minimum monthly deposit of 16,500 into your FNB Fusion Premier account, FNB Premier Current account, Global account, FNB Channels Channel Islands Current or FNB Channels Islands Core account. So that's vaguely similar to that. Okay, and then 1.3 have average deposits over 12 months of at least 16,500 into your FNB Fusion Premier accounts, FNB Fusion Current account, etc., etc. So that one we'll be looking at an average. Now, in order to get your 2,000 points, okay, you need to meet 1.2, 1.3, and 2. No, 1.1 or 1.3 and 2. So choose one between 1.2 and 1.3, and also complete 2. So previously, if you were on the way of initiating at least 10 debit transactions, that will not get you the 2,000 points this time, because it's a and criteria this time. So if you're just doing 10 debit transactions, you're not gonna get your points. You're not gonna get any points. So now, if you are a Premier account holder, then 16,500 should not be that difficult. And if you're using it as an account to deposit your income, then it shouldn't be too difficult to meet this 2,000 points. But if that's a difficult part and you only got 5,500, then you'll only get 1,000. And if it's less than 5,500, then you're not going to get any points for this criteria. So have a look at this particular rule, see which one fits. I mean, if you haven't really been depositing into your FNB Premier accounts, then this average deposit over the last 12 months will be also quite difficult to meet. But if you've decided, you know what, you want to get the points, then you have to deposit 16,500 into your FNB Premier account. Because 1.2, if you don't have a history, 1.2 will be the easier one to reach, if that makes sense. And then number 2, still do this. It's not hard. Okay, there we go. Cool. Another thing that's changed, do at least 6 financial transactions per month via the FNB app. Previously, or currently, you can get 500 points. On a new process, no, you don't get that point anymore. So that was easy 500 points. Make at least 3 real-time payments every month, you get 1,000 points. So that's using PayShap, etc. You get 1,000 points if you make 3. And now, nope, no points for that, which was also easy points. So you could probably argue 1,500 points that were quite easy to get are now gone. So now the drop of the level threshold by 1,000 points doesn't seem that great now. Eh? Okay. Also on the old system with the card, which is if you use your virtual card for 80% of your qualifying in-store spend in a calendar month, you get 1,000 points. On the new rules, if you do that, you're only gonna get maximum of 500 points. So you're not gonna get 1,000. This is for in-store. For qualifying online spend, it is still 1,000. So that's okay. That's not too bad. Oh wait. So be careful here. For qualifying online spend, it's 1,000 compared to. So I should probably highlight this part. So previously, if you use your virtual card for your qualifying online spend, you could have gotten 2,000 points. Now it's maximum of 1,000 points. If you use your virtual card for 80% of your qualifying in-store spend, it's 1,000 previously, and now it's only 500. So the max of 3,000 in the past now only translates to 1,500. So it's almost halved. So you can see why the level threshold has dropped. And you may think it's easier, but this was actually a very simple task to do in the past. Now, again, 1,500 points that were easy to get, now gone. Okay, another thing Oh wait, this is actually new. Okay, so old system didn't have this, but on a new system, if you buy 3 or more different products every month, 3 or more, different products, keyword, it has to be different, with a combined minimum purchase value of 300 from these categories under the buy tab of the F&B app. So it could be electricity, lotto, airtime and bundles, gaming and vouchers. So if you use your F&B app to purchase airtime and electricity or gaming or vouchers, and you able to meet the 300, then that's a new 500 eBucks points you can try to get. Okay, so now that we've said all that, let's actually go through a quick example of how you can actually get to level 5 in the Premier account. And we'll go through the rules and then go through a simple example. So firstly, on the first rule that's changed, if you are on the school where you already making deposits into your F&B Premier accounts of 16,500 or more, then this rule really doesn't change your behavior, or you don't have to change your behavior to get these points. You will still be able to get this 2,000 points easily. If you were depositing 16,500 or more, but you weren't doing at least 10 debit transactions per month, you may have to increase that to 10 debit transactions now in order to get the 2,000 points. Okay, so that's just a slight change you have to do. So there we go. I put 2,000 points, but if you weren't depositing 16,500 and you were trying to get the points by just doing the debit transactions, maybe it's going to be a bit more difficult. So I put in brackets here plus 1,000 because it's going to be applicable for some of you where you're not going to deposit 16,500. You may only deposit a small amount, say 5,500. Okay, so to adjust this if it's applicable for you, but I don't think 2,000 is that difficult to get. Next, digital banking criteria. Have at least 3 budget categories set up in smart budgets and access your smart budgets every month, or engage with my net worth monthly, or engage your credit status monthly. Now doing this is just a simple task to do. Engage with 2 or more and you get 1,000 points. So that's easy 1,000 points. Maintain a healthy credit status with NAV money with a status in light green or dark green. So if you're a person who is not really behind on any payments, you have some savings here or there, light green shouldn't be difficult. So easy 500 points, 1,500 so far. View the Track My Rewards tab on the F&B app. Now this is super simple. You really just have to click on the tab, maybe scroll down and up. It literally says we have visit the eBucks tab, select earn, then track my rewards, 1,000 points. So you can get 2,500 points just from this page. So that's 4,500 points thus far. Then pay your bills using F&B payables on the F&B app every month. So if this is you and you pay between 500 and 1,000, add 500 points to your cumulative score. If it's more than 1,000, add 1,000. Me personally, I don't use the F&B payables category. I would rather use other options where I can get eBucks, which makes more sense to me, such as clicks, where I can get eBucks back from paying my bills. Okay, so if this applies to you, just add the points and then save and invest. Okay. Grow your F&B savings or retirement investment savings by at least 1,400 per month. Double points if you grow both your savings and retirement investment accounts by a minimum of 1,400 each per month. F&B savings account or retirement investment account, and 1,000 if it's both. So I have to be a bit realistic. Not many people would have both, but really if just saving a bit every month, I think it's good practice. So just increasing your savings by 1,400 shouldn't be too difficult. So I've added the 500 points. Then make and maintain a monthly contribution of at least 1,000, or make an annual contribution in the current tax year of 36,000 into a F&B tax-free shares, tax-free unit trust, or tax-free cash deposit account. Okay, so F&B tax shares, if you have a tax-free savings account elsewhere, then maybe this won't apply to you. But if you have a tax-free savings account with F&B and you're depositing 3,000 per month, I think that's easy 1,000 points. So that's why I included over here 1,000 plus the 500, 1,500. So you got 6,000 points so far. Now you need 4,000 more. Now looking at my cards. Okay, have an active F&B Fusion account with a credit limit and an active card, or have an F&B credit card account with a credit limit and an active card. So it's Fusion or credit card, Fusion and credit card. For me, I have a Fusion and credit card because easy points to have. Now I get this point that you may think credit card doesn't work for you. So I have to say here, big disclaimer. Whenever you take out a Fusion account and a credit card, you gotta make sure that you have control over your spending. Okay, don't see the credit card amount, the balance, as your money. So if you don't have control whenever you have a credit card, this may not be for you. But if you have control over the credit card, you know that it's just a mechanism for you to get eBucks points, and that you always pay back the outstanding balance every single month so that you don't incur any interest. Then these points apply to you. Easy 2,000 points. Use your virtual card for 80% of qualifying online spend in a calendar month. 1,000 points, easy. Use your virtual card for 80% of your qualifying in-store spend in a calendar month, 500 points. Also easy. So that's 2,000, 3,000 plus 500. 3,500, 9,500, we have 500 points away. Okay, so now we have maintain a minimum monthly balance of at least 100,000 in one of our retirement products via the F&B investor platform. Okay, so this may not be applicable for you, so I didn't account those points, but this one, maintain a minimum monthly balance of at least 16,500 across your F&B savings account that are accessible within 7 days without incurring early withdrawal fees. So I thought, you know what, 16,500 doesn't sound too bad, and I think it's a good practice to always have an emergency fund in your account in case an emergency happens. Could be a medical emergency, it could be a car, etc, etc. So 16,500 shouldn't be too difficult, and that's why I said put in brackets 500, but I didn't really add it for this example. Okay. So if that's you, okay, I gotta change this to 950 because we had 950. So if this isn't really applicable, it's not really applicable for you, don't add it. But if it is applicable for you, maybe you're a very great saver, so you have over 50,000, then you can add 1,500. Then you already met your level 5 criteria. Okay, the next one where I added 500 is, I think, look, if this is your account where you use it to buy some electricity, some airtime, and some vouchers, then this 500 points is actually quite easy. I mean, it's just 300 per month, and I think electricity plus airtime plus vouchers would be over 300. There you go, 10,000 easy points. There's also a bunch of later rules onwards. We'll just go through them high level, but I didn't count them, so you can add them up. Just see it as a buffer and additional points that you can use to get to level 5. Okay, so firstly, have a F&B savings account with a term of longer than 8 days and maintain a minimum monthly balance of 16,500 in the account. So that's if you have a notice account, maybe a 32-day or etc. Have an active Islamic transaction account, so if it's applicable for you, you can add these points. Offshore banking, if it's applicable for you, it can be a global account. I know many people don't have it. If you borrow, this is definitely one that you don't want to do. Don't go into debt for the sake of getting eBucks points. So hope you're not in this category. Home, so if you have a home loan with FNB, 1000 points. Easy. And then you manage your property or use one of the available services under NAV Home tab, you get 500. So one thing I'm not sure is if you don't have a home loan, whether you would still get the 500 points. That you have to check with FNB. So if this is applicable for you, there, add more points. Then insurance, so if you have insurance with FNB with a combined cover of at least 1.5 million, then add the points. Here's also some other insurance funeral plans, so if this is applicable, add points. And lastly, family, if you have a FNB Life customized and you have drafted a will with FNB as your executor, 1000 points. And if you add your child under My Family tab on the FNB app and have an active linked FNB Youth transactional account for your child, then this category will also be applicable for you. Or you have a spouse, go over these rules, additional points. So hopefully I've showed that even though the rules have changed, it's actually not that bad, and you probably just have to shift your behavior previously just a bit so that you can still stay in level 5. Okay, and that's all I have for today. If you have any comments, just post them down in the section below.